Hi everyone, so today we're going to go over a plant-based diet for teens, whether they're vegetarian or vegan or anything in between. This is just kind of gives parents a guideline to how to support your child and making sure that they're getting enough nutrients for their growing bodies. So your teen may be wondering the varieties of becoming vegetarian and which one works for them. So we've got about 7 different types. So with vegans, it's going to be the most restrictive, which they don't eat any animal products or byproducts, and this includes eggs and dairy as well. They will be eliminating things such as gelatin because it is produced by the collagen from the bones of an animal, and then like animal broths as well. So lacto-vegetarians, they do eat dairy, but they don't include meat, poultry, fish, or eggs. Lacto-ovo-vegetarians, they include dairy and eggs, but eliminate everything else. And then we have pesco-vegetarians or pescatarians that include fish and only into their diet. That's animal-based. And then we have ovo-vegetarians who includes eggs but exclude everything including dairy. So flexitarians and pollotarians, I believe those are something that are a little bit more new. So flexitarians are just semi-vegetarian, that they have a wide variety of veggies and fruits and grains, and they try to minimize the amount of meat, poultry, or fish into their diet. So they are often can go maybe several days without eating meat, or just purchasing in small amounts for the week and just not consuming as much. So pollotarians, they're semi-vegetarian, but they restrict red meat, seafood, and fish, but it allows poultry into their diet. So these are just of different varieties. Maybe if your teen is considering becoming a vegetarian, maybe offering them one of these options to kind of give an idea of what works better for them. So it is important that your teen is still eating a well-balanced meal, and that they are still trying to get as many nutrient dense foods. This includes like veggies and fruits, grains, and getting enough protein in a different way. So teenagers are still growing and they are developing. So if they decide to take this route, it is important that they try to include a wide variety of plant-based foods for themselves, because if not, they could potentially put themselves at risk for deficiency in B12, calcium, protein, iron, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and zinc. It may sound intimidating and a lot. However, if your teen enjoys their food and is open-minded and willing to give new things a try, this should be attainable. So find the reason why your teen is deciding to move towards a plant diet. It is important that at this time, if the focus is on weight control, that to seek medical care from your practitioner or a registered dietitian. Okay, so the parent's role is just basically to not brush it off if your teen comes to you and says that they would like to go on a plant-based diet. It's so that they have your help and your support, and it's important that you know they are receiving the right foods. You can seek out advice from a registered dietitian who can make sure that your teenager is meeting their needs and how to incorporate maybe foods that are higher in nutrients than they are processed. So it's just a matter of getting to know your sources, exploring, trying new things, and just being open-minded about everything. So Grains, nuts, and legumes provide zinc. Iron should be combined with foods that are rich in vitamin C to help with absorption, such as citrus fruits, broccoli, and tomatoes. Iron-rich foods can include soy products, fortified cereals, and leafy greens. Vitamin B12 is only found in animal products like eggs and dairy are also a good source, but when it comes to being a vegan, you're not able to include that into your diet, so perhaps consider supplementation of vitamin B12. I would advise that you seek help from a registered dietitian if needed, just to make sure that you are not deficient in any of these. And then lastly, tips for teens is the same that we would tell any other teenager, just to be careful with how much processed food you are consuming in the day, and to careful with sugar intake, because a lot of processed foods have a lot of sugar, and we still want to be careful with how much sugar we are adding to our diets. So eating a variety of fruits and vegetables, and trying to include nuts and seeds for your omega-3s, making sure that you're experimenting with whole grains and legumes, because there's so much out there, and testing the different textures and flavors and finding what works best for you. And it's completely okay to start slow. So although you want to move to a plant-based diet, you don't have to go 100% into it. You may find that it's easier for you to start removing things little by little, or if it works for you and you just want to dive into it, that's okay too. Just remember that this is what you'd like to do, and there's no wrong way, as long as you're eating a well balanced diet and receiving help if you need it.